when the thing started to like roll downhill, there was discussions with TV. Maybe I would do TV, and maybe I would do something in the NBA, and I was even investigating NBA International. Like, what would it be like to go coach in Switzerland for 6 months? But my first conversation with Juwan, I was like, you know what? This is the field. This is what I've been looking for. I wanted something to touch my heart, and it was clear to me that he had an unbelievable love for the university, for his school, and I also that I could do something special here. So I really haven't had any second thoughts. I miss my family. I mean, but if I didn't, then wouldn't that say something about me? You know. But the opportunity to work and not seem like work. That's what this has been since June the 6th or 7th when I got here. I got home for the recruiting weekend in June. It was in Philadelphia. It was a great event, and then I stayed home for 2 days. But no second thought, not a second thought at all.
In the conversations, what do you view your job is to help Juwan transition from pros to college, and how much of it is that?
I don't know if I have an actual like job in my head, but I know that that loyalty, I know that work ethic, and obviously I have a bag of knowledge of scheduling scheduling a scrimmage as opposed to an exhibition game. How do you maximize this time, particularly like this week? Like, how do we maximize Juwan's time with wanting to get to USA basketball and wanting to get recruiting? What I am very much aware of is that he is an unbelievable listener. He doesn't have to. He hears everything that I'm saying. He doesn't have to do everything because I don't have all the answers. But I think that that the job description to me is to put my back to Juwan's back and to do it through loyalty and work ethic.
How did he? Sorry, go ahead. How did he earn your trust when he was talking to you first? Because I don't think you knew him before. Right?
And this sounds like an exaggeration, and I'm not a cliche kind of guy, but there was the first sentence out of his mouth, and I was like, nah, this is legit. This is a legit guy. And he talked about knowing what he didn't know. He talked about how much he had a love for this university, and he had a love for coaching. And I could just sense the first conversation that this was a relationship thing. Like, I think, to be honest with you, I think coaches are overrated. I really do. I think like people running around and saying he's a genius, or the people on TV saying he's a genius. What does that mean? Like, I think what you have to be is a relationship genius. And I got the sense from my first conversation, because he was so humble and it was so easy to converse with Juwan, that it just touched me. I don't know any other way to tell you, but I was touched immediately. Now, I will fill you in on some details. So that would be a Monday before he actually interviewed, and then I kind of followed it, and I woke up maybe in the middle of the night on a Tuesday night, and I said, what do I really know? What do I really know about Juwan Howard? I know he was in the Fab Five, and I know like anybody that can last in that league for that number of years, and I knew that he worked at the Miami Heat, and so what better preparation would there be than the Heat organization? But I got up and I went on the computer and I hit everything that I could get on his background. So as I read through his background, and he graduated the year after leaving here early. He graduated with his class because he promised his grandmother. And then I went and further, and then I read the personal section about how long he had been married, and that one of his joys was watching his kids play basketball. I went back to bed and I said, yeah, this is good, because that's really what my value system is always family, ball, and then anything else, like any other interest that you have. If golf's more important to you, or poker's more important to you, well, that's not going to be a match for me, you know. And so I did have to study that. And then when I talk to people, right, and it was Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy said to me, he said, look, I'm going to make this really simple for you. He is Jameer Nelson-like. And to me, Jameer Nelson as a human being is on the Mount Rushmore for me, of all the people that I've ever been around in basketball. And so when he said that, I said, you know, it's not just a job for me. It would be like it would be a calling to work with Juwan.
Early impressions of the guys you'll be working with, the players?
First of all, they're like, if you can put it on a scale, like their respect, their character is stunning. And that was my first day. Like I was walking in here like, oh, I don't really know, and Eli Brooks, I watched him grow up. Adrian Nunez, I recruited him. But it was every guy, and they had obviously done some work to say, you know, Coach, look, we're glad you're here. We know the experience you're going to bring. I've been really impressed with that. I'm unbelievably blown away with their builds and their bodies. It sounds a little creepy, I know, in today's world, but their look is, and I would assume that's a Big Ten look. That's been pretty amazing. I think Juwan has done a really great job in expressing his joy of being on the court with them, and they're giving him that feedback. I'm not saying it wasn't joyful. I mean, when you're as successful as John Beilein, but I've been impressed by all of those things, and it's genuine. You know, it's not like a honeymoon thing where, okay, well, we can be like this for the first 6 weeks. They're like that every day, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the managers here. It's stunning to me how dedicated and how passionate they are for Michigan basketball.
As you've been out on